Welcome back, guys. We are finally going to be talking about something today that honestly I was even shocked to be able to review. Due to, again, I have not been playing a whole lot of games lately. I have not really had the eager to play any games lately due to just a lot going on personally, and then also, trying to make sure I find a game I want to play. But overall, I decided to go ahead and pick up Assassin's Creed Mirage. So, again, I know a lot of you guys, there's been a lot of mix within the fandom. And I've been seeing a lot of more negativity towards this game. I've been seeing a little bit of positivity toward the game. So before I get into my personal experiences, and I wanted to get ahead, so I did watch some cutscenes, and I've been playing the game. But I want to go into what my experiences have been, whether it be for the story, the gameplay, my thoughts of the graphics, my thoughts of the gameplay, the characters, and overall just everything in general. So if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments down below. If you did not enjoy it, that's fine too. Leave a like. Also, if you guys have not played the game and you don't want to be spoiled, then automatically do click off the video if you do not want to be spoiled. Another thing is, do you need to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla to understand the story of Assassin's Creed Mirage? I would say yes, possibly. I did not play the DLC, so I had to kind of learn who Rashawn was. I had to learn a little bit more about that character, but overall, I think that I got the basis of who she was. Now, again, the Assassin's Creed Mirage story is, again, based on Basim. He is a character from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, again, if you guys do not remember who he is the reincarnation of Loki, who is, of course, from Norse mythology. And then we had Eivor, who was the reincarnation of Odin from the previous of the first civilization. Now, in this story, we have where Basim starts off as a thief. He starts doing missions for the Hidden once he finally meets Rashawn, and he later tries to impress them by trying to gather a box that they're trying to get from one of the leaders in Baghdad. And when this happens, he tries to go ahead with a friend by the name of Naha, to where they try to steal it and it goes wrong. He kills the leader and then he has to go into hiding. Then when Sean finds this out, she has no choice but to take him in, and then she finds, I guess, experience with him, to where he does go through training. He gets taken in by the Hidden Ones, and they get taken to their secret lair, to where you do see the building of the Brotherhood. You see the Brotherhood in the area, and we go through this training montage as well, and that he has to return to Baghdad due to the fact of one of the agents that they had there unfortunately comes back injured, and Basim has to take over to find exactly what's going on with the Order of the Ancients. Now, we go through each one, same type of deal we had in the previous games. In the later of the game, we find out that Basim does figure out that he is Loki, due to he goes to the underneath the labyrinth of where the AC Brotherhood is being built, to where he actually finds out that his friend Naha is actually a imagination to him, to where she's not really there. It is part of his past being Loki. It's kind of confusing to really understand, to where, oh, she was never really real. He was just in his imagination, and what he was being plagued by was, to his mind, a jinn, to where he kept seeing it in his nightmares, and where he kept seeing it during the daytime, and it plagued him, and that was his past from where he was being tortured. So when he finally does this, he finally goes up against Rashawn at the very end of the game, and we see where he does let her go, but then he combines his old self with his new self, and that's when we get the Basim that we meet in AC Valhalla, and he is no longer the Basim that we got to become in this game. Now, overall, I think it was interesting to know more about this character, but at the same time, I know some people, including myself, did not really care about this character. I was not hyped when I heard about it was going to be about Basim. I was intrigued by the landscape of Baghdad during this time period, of what it would look like, how it would feel, and, between the parkour, the assassinations, and what it would feel like. Again, they say, oh, we're going to go back to old school, new roots. It did not feel like they were going to go back to the roots. What exactly did they go to the roots by? We pretty much did the exact same assassinations. We did the exact same thing for, whether it be for pickpocketing, or even when you're trying to take out different guards. The combat did not feel authentic to me. It felt like they're still trying to combine more old school with the new school, but it did not work. And the reason why I say that is the parries. You have to continue to get better on that, because if you don't, then your health will decline very quickly. You had to use a lot of your tricks. The main thing I used was either the throwing knives or the smoke bombs. Those are the main things I would use. It would be a lot easier to take out my targets. It was easier to be able to handle that, especially if you're trying to go up against guards. It's a lot easier going through stealth rather than take them on to me in one hand-to-hand combat, because it was not fun that way. Only time I did that is if it was really absolutely necessary. I felt like most of the time it was just me being stealthy, and I know that's part of Assassin's Creed, but at the same time you just want to get into the thick of it and use your Assassin's Creed or assassin abilities to take on multiple enemies, like we did in AC1 and even in Revelations, Brotherhood, AC2, and I'm using those just as examples, guys. So again, those are going to be a lot of my favorite games. I know AC1 gets a lot of hate, but again, the landscape at the time was absolutely gorgeous, and I just think that Ubisoft is still not listening to its fans. I have not truly enjoyed the franchise in a long time. I think I dipped off the franchise probably between Rogue and Unity. I gave every single Assassin's Creed game a chance, but every time it disappoints me somehow this way. This one has disappointed me yet again. Only reason why I say that is because, one, the graphics were beautiful, I will say that, but it still felt like it was a DLC to Valhalla. Mirage to me was only a DLC. It kind of feels like they should have just automatically, like, here, if you want to play as Basim, here, pay 30-40 bucks and you get to play as Basim for this so-called new game. That's the way I feel about it. But again, they're not going to do that. I also feel like the graphics were good to a certain degree. The parkour did not feel like it had upgraded. It felt like it stayed the same, but also went downgraded a little bit, because there was things that honestly you would think you could do that you can't do. You can't climb trees. You had issues going up walls. There was even glitches that I had a few times where playing as Basim, all I did was running around. It just felt like I was being lagged, or even trying to kill an assassination, and then one of my kills, he just started doing like the dead man walk or something. It was really crazy. And even some of the weapons felt very limited in this game. Even your costumes/outfits felt very limited in this game, to where the look that you wanted to possibly have for Basim was very limited on what your personalized look would be, whether you want to go with any previous Assassin's look or another one, depending on what you were given in this game. I just was not fully impressed with it at the same time. Some of the landscape was very good. It felt a little bit like, not Odyssey, but more like Origins in some ways, where you had to look especially for a certain location. That kind of got on my nerves a little bit. Some of the areas you had to find for Eagle Points was normal. Everything felt just the same type of engine that we were doing for the last, I would say, 5-6 years for Assassin's Creed. Now again, a lot of people say, I've seen, okay, I would rather play this and that. In all honesty, guys, I would rather play Valhalla than this. I would play Mirage over Odyssey. Now, if you say, what would you rather play, Valhalla or Origins? Honestly, I would still possibly say Valhalla, due to the reason why is because I like the Viking Age. I like the historical accuracy for that as much as possible. Some of it I do not like, but some of it I do like. It's very mixed in between. Same thing for Odyssey. Not Odyssey, but Origins. I am a big fan of the time period they put in during, ancient Egypt, with Cleopatra and among others. But with this, it just felt like I didn't care about none of the characters in Assassin's Creed Mirage. I mean, Roshan, she was very interesting. I would like to know more about her past. I believe that there's a book coming out for her past as well. I know I got to read some of the Assassin's Creed books when I get time, but it just felt like most of these characters I did not care about, especially with Ali. He was a very, I'm just going to say this, he was a prick. I give credit to the voice actor. I think he did good portraying that character. It was one of those where I'm kind of hoping at some point, even though Basim finally became his reincarnated version of Loki, to where maybe he got tired of his crap and he just, assassinated him at some point, and not realizing where he says, Basim, and he just came up with some line of no, think again, or something like that, to where Basim now, since he's going to be the main focus, I would assume, of the Assassin's Creed franchise as of right now. For against, he's going to be the new modern day character. We're going to have to see how much of a threat he's going to be in that time frame. Now, again, to my knowledge, I don't think that there was a modernize in this game. It was more focused on the historical aspect, which again, that is fine. But guys, it just felt like that this game really declined on what we were promised. I feel like Ubisoft came out with as possible good intentions, but they failed us yet again. And I will still play the game. I will still enjoy it to the best of my abilities. But 1 out of 10, I give this game maybe a 4.5. Again, is it worth what I spent? No, I only spent 50 bucks, and after tax and everything of that nature, so it was around like $52, $53. But again, it would not be worth it. Honestly, this game is probably worth, I would say, maybe up to $20 to $25, even 30 at the most. That is honestly, I would say, enough for a DLC. This is not a very long game. It made me feel like, okay, when is this game going to be done? When is this mission going to be done? When am I going to upgrade to become a possible assassin? I like having the medallion on my back showing that, hey, I went from apprentice to, you know, going up the chain to becoming a master assassin. Again, I've been playing Assassin's Creed for many years since the very first one came out. I fell in love with the franchise, and AC2 really brought me, dove me deeper into the franchise, because again, Ezio and Edward are my two favorite characters within the franchise. I may do a video on or redo a video on Assassin's Creed games, but as of right now, Assassin's Creed Mirage, I think, is going in another direction, or continuing to go in a direction that Ubisoft wants, but the fandom does not. And that has been the biggest problem, I think, within the Assassin's Creed franchise, and even with the fandom. The fandom is wanting good stories, good characters, good gameplay, and it seems like no matter what we say to Ubisoft, they are not listening. So hopefully, at some point, maybe Ubisoft will listen to us. Hopefully, the developers, the writers, and everyone will listen to us, and they're only wanting to listen to maybe the small portion of fans, to where, oh, we want this and we want that, and then they get it, and then it's like giving 20% to the fans that want this, and you give them everything, but the 80% of those fans are going, where the hell is our scraps, where the hell is our where's our dinner, pretty much, and you're giving us something we really don't want. We got to choke it down, and we have to go, okay, I can either deal with this, I can swallow it, or I'm going to spit it out and say I'm never going to play this again. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, Unity's fantastic, even though with all the problems and all this and that. Guys, I cannot stand Unity. I don't like the story, I don't like the gameplay, I hate that damn game. I hate Odyssey. They're both two games I do not like to play in the Assassin's Creed franchise. I cannot stand those games. I know there are people that love those games, and you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to enjoy it. I'm not saying you cannot enjoy it, but me, I would rather play Mirage over those two games. That's just my opinion. If you would prefer to play those games over Mirage, that's your opinion. But again, if you guys have not played Mirage, take my opinion for what it's worth. Enjoy it, hate it, love it. That's your own opinion. But what do you think about Assassin's Creed Mirage? Is it worth a pickup, or is it worth a pass? Me personally, depending on your money, I would say, depending on how much you love the franchise and you like the world building, then I would say yes as a pickup. If it's something to where you can pass on it, and I would say maybe wait for the next game or so, then probably pass on it for the time being until it goes down a lower price. So that is my full review of everything. Again, I'm just not too impressed with the development of Basim. Again, I think we went from, again, being a street thief to a so-called master assassin. Then, of course, him becoming, you know, his new envisioned self between his old self and his current self that we know in AC Valhalla, as well as also getting to know other characters that he came across during his younger years, which again, I really did not care. We did not get to see a lot of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in this game, which is what I want to see, and we still get not to see that as well. So once again, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you as always on the very next video.